Hi, and welcome back to my channel. I am going to show you today how I make some of the vinegars and extracts that I use for natural flavorings. And I use these homemade flavorings in all kinds of things, salad dressings, marinades mostly, or when I'm cooking. So these are very easy to make from home. As you can see here, I have my mint plant that I grew from seed. If you've ever grown a mint plant, it grows very quickly. It just needs sunlight and a lot of water. I keep this one indoors and watch it closely. Plus, it grew really quickly, so I'm not too worried about it being dirty. I mean, it hasn't been outside. So I am taking the leaves off of this plant, placing them in 2 jars. 1 jar will be for my extract, and 1 jar will be for my vinegar. So this is more of an art than a science. There's not a certain amount of leaves that you need. It doesn't really matter. Just get it in the jar. Now I'm going to add the sugar and water to make my mint vinegar. And then I will add alcohol, usually vodka, to make the extract. So the advantages to mint, if you do your own research online, it's known to boost your immunity and improve your brain function. It also really helps improve your skin health and, any kind of allergy issues. And if you have any IBD or IBS, it can soothe your tummy as well. Making your own flavors at home is really cost effective. You can make your own beverages, use it when you're cooking or baking. It is a great option. Now I'm going to be infusing my olive oil. You can buy infused olive oil, and I find that it's really expensive. It's much easier to infuse it at home and much more cost effective. So I'm taking my shallots, cutting them, putting them in my olive oil jar, and then I will add my oil on top. Based on the type of flavors that you and your family enjoy, you can get really creative with the herbal infusion combinations of your cooking oils. I usually make shallot olive oil and garlic olive oil. Those are my most common oils that I infuse and use at home. So right now you see me turning my raw honey over into this jar. I didn't want to use my original honey jar because I use that raw honey for many different things. So I am making honey infused garlic, and I'm also adding the garlic to the olive oil at the same time. This will really elevate a dish and provides a depth of flavor that usually people will comment on. I absolutely love it, and I hope that you give it a try. Remember, the garlic is going to be submerged under the honey and it will not go bad. So whenever you need a garlic head, you can just cut this one up and use it. Or if you need honey for something, I usually will just take a spoonful out of my honey infused garlic and just throw it in the skillet as I am finishing a dish. Okay, so you might be wondering what you can use garlic infused honey in. You can drizzle it over your food as you finish like some chicken, some baked chicken. Of course, I use it in my salad dressings and marinades. That's my most common thing. You can make a dip out of it. You can put it on bread. You can even use it with eggs. It's really good. So give it a try. As you see here, I didn't have enough honey as much as I thought I did. So I ended up turning over the rest of the jar into the jar I already had, and that's okay. Normally, I wouldn't do that. If I would have known I was going to not have enough, I would have just added the garlic to the honey jar. But, we make it work in the kitchen. So since I have all my garlic peeled, I'm just going to pop it in a bag and throw it in the freezer. And then I can use this at another time when I just need some kind of garlic that is not infused. Or if I just need to make more oil later, it's ready to go. And yes, I do make my own little homemade stickers on Canva for all of the little concoctions that I make at home. Okay, now let's make some forever homemade vanilla extract. I say forever because this will last you forever. You're going to find some vanilla beans. You will slice them long ways and horizontally, pop them in a jar, and add some spiced rum on top. As you use the vanilla extract, you can just add more spiced rum. Let it steep initially for a couple of months, but then you will be able to just add the spiced rum on top and have it forever. Do not overspend at the grocery store for those little bottles. Now we're going to make some mango vinegar and extract, which I use in my marinades. I can't wait to show you guys how I use my marinades and make them. But for this video, we're just going to focus on how to make these flavorings at home so that you do not go to the store and overspend on something that you can make in 5 minutes at your house. So you can see me here taking off most of the skin of the mango, but I'm not getting the fruit. Now, it's not perfect. Remember, this is an art, not a science, but just get mostly the peel and not the fruit. So I usually take whatever's left over from my fruit and just freeze it and pop it in a smoothie later, so nothing goes to waste. A homemade mango marinade on some chicken or fish in the summertime is delightful, so I highly recommend you try it. So just like with any of the vinegars, I put my sugar and water and cover it with a coffee filter so it can breathe, and then I will add my vodka on top of my extract. Same process, but you can use different foods. Now I'm doing the same thing here with coffee beans, which work beautifully in like a coffee cake or any kind of specialty coffee drink you're making. Throwing in a spoonful of coffee extract, makes the drink so much better. So all you do is add your coffee beans to a jar, add your vodka, let it steep for several months, put it away, and it will not go bad. You will have it for months, if not years. The coffee beans will eventually sink down. Just make sure you shake it for the first week that you have it in the jar and it should be fine. All right, now let's talk about ginger, one of my favorites. So ginger is known to really help with digestive health and any kind of nausea relief. So if you have ginger at home, you can put it in teas, you can add ginger in your food in a myriad of different ways, but do your own research. It's really, really good for you. So I don't bother to take the peel off or anything. I just cut the ginger and put it in my jars. In this case, I realized pretty quickly that I had a lot more ginger than I had space in the jars, so I do end up transferring it to larger jars, which is good for me because that means I will have even more. So if you have as much ginger as I do, you can use ginger in savory dishes or sweet dishes. You can grate it, you can cut it, you can peel it, you can freeze it. There's so much you can do with ginger. And if you combine it with a hint of citrus, it can really add a lot of depth of flavor to your dishes. You can also pickle it. So I can make a pickling video for you guys. I pickle and make a lot of sauerkrauts. If you're interested in that, just let me know. But we are going to follow the same process with the sugar and water in one jar and then the alcohol in the other jar for the extract. All right, our vinegar and extract video continues with basil. We are going to make a basil vinegar and a basil extract. And remember, we are making these flavorings because we are cooking at home. We are making our meals at home, and we want to make sure we have a variety of different options on how to cook our food to give it different flavors and keep our dishes interesting. So we do our normal process. We add our sugar and water to one jar, and then we add our vodka to the other jar. I use these again for my marinades, and also if you're making any specialty beverages, don't go to a bar and spend $18. You can make your own specialty beverages at home, especially when you're making your own flavorings at home. So I will always suggest that you do your own research, but basil is so good for you and your digestion. Okay, now let's talk about citrus. So I had lemons and limes. I cut them up and put them in a jar, and guess what? The process is still the same. You add your sugar and water to one jar, you add your vodka to another jar. I cover my vinegars with a coffee filter, and I cover my extracts with a ball jar canning lid. Citrus is wonderful for heart health, and they say it helps with cancer prevention. All right, now we are going to move on to coconut vinegar and coconut extract. The process for making the vinegar and the extract is the same, but you can use this especially when baking desserts. I do use the coconut in my marinades when I'm trying to lighten up my flavors for summer. There are so many ways you can use your coconut vinegars and extracts, including making some really fun drinks at home. The antimicrobial properties are effective in fighting bacteria, fungi, and viruses, but of course I will always suggest that you do your own research to find the benefits of making your own natural flavorings at home and not getting anything processed from the store. All right, I did the same thing with blueberries. I got some freeze-dried blueberries, but you can use fresh. I just ended up losing that footage here, but we have my extract and we have the blueberry vinegar, and my goodness, this makes marinades so good. The blueberry extract does go quick in my home because I make a lot of different drinks with it, teas with it. I definitely cook with it. You can bake with it with blueberry muffins. Having blueberry extract on hand is wonderful. I highly recommend if you choose one, choose this one. Okay, so if you made it this far, you've heard me talk about my marinades and how you make them. There is a formula for making marinades. It is the same formula for everything. If you want to watch me make my own marinades in a video, just let me know in the comments below. But basically, you need fat, acid, and seasoning. So when I'm telling you I'm throwing things in my marinades, it's a part of the flavoring and the seasoning of the marinade. So here you are watching me pour full whole peppercorns into jars, and I am making my own pepper vinegar and my own pepper extract. When I add this to vinegars for steaks or ribs, wow, it really adds to the flavor of it. Everything in this video is about flavor, 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 and how to add more and more layers of flavor. You do these small things and it will make your cooking unique, and people will not be able to figure out exactly how you made this taste so good. So now I have just emptied a bag of raspberry leaf into a jar. Raspberry leaf is so good for antioxidants and nutrients, and it's also known to ease menstrual discomfort. So I used to only put this in tea, but I learned to start making it into an extract and putting the extract into my tea. And I have to say I like this process and this method much better. All right, so my last two quick creations are star anise extract and then a mustard extract in vinegar. I lost the footage on the mustard, but remember, you can get creative. So thank you for watching my video. The process is the same. Have fun, build your own flavors at home, save money, and get creative in the kitchen. Thanks for watching my video. See you next time.